So we are a new week. I'm Nay, and
I'm Lola.
And we are Naylo's Thrift Talk. And our whole philosophy, if you haven't watched, is to talk about not only we are both resellers, we thrift for resale, but also for environmental sustainability and sentimental value of things, and we also thrift for ourselves. I have 3 kids, so I thrift for them. And so
yes, and today we have sort of a spin on your usual thrift haul.
Mm-hmm.
So we both went to Goodwill, and hi Elizabeth, happy Friday. So we both went to Goodwill in our respective areas. Nate is in the New Jersey suburbs of Philadelphia.
So I went to a Goodwill in Philadelphia.
Yes, and I live in Western Mass, so I'm closer to Springfield than Boston. And I went to a new to me Goodwill, and we each spent about $40. Mm-hmm. And we added up all of our comps to see who made out the best, and will hopefully have the best return on their investment. Mm-hmm. And we haven't seen each other's items yet, so we have no idea what we got.
I'm excited for one item.
Yes. Nadine apparently has a really, really great find. I didn't have, I don't want to like spoil it. I didn't have anything like out of the world, but I had some pretty fun items.
As long as they're solid items, that's all that matters,
And I definitely learned a lot about what's available in my area because I just moved here a few months ago, as opposed to in Philly, which is where I moved from. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit of a learning curve, which is weird after having been a reseller for a few years already, that I'm still learning new things and trying new things. So that was really fun. But before we get into that, we have our usual segments. Oh, first, sorry. We also have a upcoming video next week. We're going to do our first ThredUp unboxing. So this is something we've wanted to do for a while. We love the Goodwill blue boxes, which if you haven't seen them, we have a few older videos of our Goodwill blue box unboxings, but we've never done the ThredUp rescue boxes. So we each got a ThredUp rescue box, different kinds. And so Nays hasn't arrived yet, but.
Yeah, so if it doesn't come, then we'll do something different, but hopefully it'll be here by next Friday.
I have faith. Mine actually came much faster than I expected. Yeah. So. Yes, so that is next week.
So it'll be kind of fun to compare the ThredUp box to the Goodwill blue box.
Yes, for sure. Because the ThredUp boxes, they are a bit more expensive, but I have watched a lot of other people's unboxing videos, and it seems like you can get maybe better quality stuff in them. So when you
hopefully
think about return on investment, I'm curious
what we got. So
yeah. Okay, Nadine.
Okay, so I am wearing.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing this is like a tunic top. It's just International Concepts, which is a Macy's house brand. So it's nothing, but it's kind of, it's kind of fun. It's got like the kind of flowy sleeves and it's long. So, and then I paired it with this awesome necklace. Now I got this from shopgoodwill.com. So I won an auction on it for $7.99. And then I didn't have to pay shipping because I picked it up because it was from one of the New Jersey locations. So it is a brand called Austin Designs. Now, if you Google Austin Designs, you'll find the website. The designer, she is amazing. She does all of her designs from recycled materials. And it's sterling. She uses sterling silver. So this is sterling silver. And then she recycles beach glass and makes beads and jewelry out of the recycled beach glass. And she said she uses other beads too that are recycled. So it's all she repurposes everything. And her main thing is the sea glass, which is really cool. So I think that, some of this is sea glass and some of it's, like recycled. But I believe that some of it's definitely, it feels like heavy glass. So
that's awesome. So it's sustainable in that it was originally sustainable.
And then I bought it. And I did not know this when I purchased it from Shop Goodwill, but there was a little 925 sterling silver and it said Austin Designs. And then I Googled it and I found out that it was a really cool find. And her jewelry is pretty expensive. So $7.99 was a steal for this. And then my earrings were like $2. My ridiculously oversized hoops, which I love statement earrings. So I paid $2 for those. And I think I paid like $4.99 for the top. So
not bad. So I don't remember how much I paid for my top, which was actually originally a dress. So I cropped it and just sewed
Oh,
it
really?
here. Yeah, so it used to be sort of a maxi full-length dress, it just sort of straight down.
Mm-hmm.
And it is 100% wool, I believe.
Oh,
And the skirt had a ton of moth holes. I found it at a great store in New York that is sort of like a higher end. It's quite a bit like Buffalo Exchange. It's called not Plato's Closet. I'm blanking on the name.
can't remember.
It'll come to me.
Yeah.
But if you're in New York, they do have multiple locations around the city, and they generally have better stuff, I think, than other stores, often at very good prices, and they do like a half off color. So this, I think, was a half off color because it was obviously damaged. You know, it was not the best. I think what they originally asking for, it was like $12, something $16, and I think that's for like $6 or $7. But
that's a great idea too. That's a great tip that you can repurpose items if your hand. Now I used to sew. I have a sewing machine. I should really. I would love. That's something on my. Like,
if you don't use it,
but
they can get damaged from not using them. So it's good.
Well, my aunt gave it to me. It's a Singer from the 70s. It's a vintage Singer, and my aunt gifted it to me. So I do have that somewhere, and I should use it. So I love that. I love the neckline. It's just
So these are all real snaps. So it does come apart like this, and you can open it a little bit further, or snap it up so it's more of a turtleneck. And the brand on it is called Griff Steel.
Okay, I don't know the brand.
I didn't know it either. It said made in Paris and had the European sizing. So
that's a good tip too. If you find European sizing or European tags on an item, chances are that it's a higher end item.
Especially when it's higher end materials like
wool or something. Yeah.
Right. So when I Googled it, I found this old New York Times article that was a guide to visiting Paris. And it mentioned that you can save money on designer brands if you go to the manufacturer's stores, which they have in Paris. I'm curious if that's still true. I never heard of that before. This was from the early 80s, I think, which makes sense because I would definitely have thought this was like late.
It looks like it's, I would say, late 80s.
The colors are very 70s, but the style is more 80s.
Probably more 80s. Yeah. It's very cool though. Very.
Anyway, so I almost wonder if this was a design for a higher end designer, and then this was labeled as the manufacturer because it was sold by the manufacturer instead of through the label. I'm really curious to try and do some more research on it, but I did start trying to do more Googling, and there really wasn't that much available. So I don't know exactly where to look next, but I definitely am very curious about this now.
So interesting how we can kind of go down a rabbit hole with the research. And I
was hoping it would be a whole thrifted history worthy item, but I couldn't find enough about it. So it's still a question mark. Yeah. And when I remember the name of the store I bought it at, I will interject it into the conversation. And I will put it in the comments because I can't believe I'm blanking. And I was hoping maybe someone in the chat would remember for me. So far, no luck, but it'll come to me. I know it will. I go there all the time. I can't believe I'm blanking on it. Okay. Thrifted home decor. What do you have, Nadine?
Okay, so I have, and this is very fragile because it was under plexiglass, but the plexiglass had a glare, so I wanted to take it off of the plexiglass. It is, I had to pick it up because I was at the Goodwill on Dollar Day. This is from my haul, but it's not included because I'm keeping it. I just had to rescue it. It was someone's like, probably like college or something, not pastel, charcoal drawing. And it's pretty well done. I mean, it's an amateur artist, obviously, but it's pretty well done. And I had to rescue it. It was under plexiglass, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it. And maybe, I just felt like it was too cool to leave behind for $1. So
that's awesome. I just quickly Googled it.
Beacon's
Closet. It's not Beacon's Closet. Have you heard of it?
What is it?
Beacon's Closet.
Beacon's? No, I have not.
Like Beacon Street in Boston, but it's in New York.
Oh, okay.
So they have the original location, I think, is the one that's now in Greenpoint. It used to be more in Williamsburg. And then there's one there's a couple in Manhattan. There's a bunch, there's one in Park Slope. They're all great. The original one, I think, is the biggest. I found the most high-end items in Manhattan, but the best prices, kind of value-wise,
That's
are still, I think, in Greenpoint. And I used to go there when I worked down the street all the time, and that's when I bought this.
cool.
Anyway, so my home decor, I know I've talked about thrifted storage before, and this is one of my thrifted storage solutions. So this is an vintage antique milk like milkman kind of basket. Thing that you put the jugs of milk in. And then I just added some vintage mason jars. Some of these still have their lids, so I like them especially for putting my yarn in, because my cats, if I put the lid on it, my cats can't get to it.
Yeah.
So this is where I keep all of the like odds and ends of yarn that I might need for smaller projects, and then all of my needles are organized, and the needles are also thrifted and vintage. So this is just a really nice way to keep little things organized, and especially with the cart, I can move this around the house if I want to, take a project with me somewhere else.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
And I've had that since, I think, and that's one of those other items I bought when I started thrifting in high school, and I've had it ever since.
Wow.
I used to have those things you paid almost nothing for, and they just stay with you for decades. So
you're just full of repurposing tips today.
Okay.
Let's see Henry in the chat. Hi, Henry.
Without further ado, we can get into our battle of the
battle. I should have brought my boxing gloves.
So every Goodwill, and especially from region to region, every Goodwill is different.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe we could start with just like a brief intro of what your Goodwill's like, maybe compared to other places you've been, and what its strengths are, what you usually find there.
So my Goodwill is, and Lola's familiar with this Goodwill, it is a Goodwill in the city of Philadelphia, and they moved to a new location, so it's a nice big store now, and they have, their prices are, it's kind of like their dresses are all $8.99, and I'm sure that'll go up. They have a boutique section, like all the Lucky Brand jeans always end up in the boutique section for like $20, which blows my mind, but they have, but sometimes the boutique section is good because you find the new tags items, but usually they're marked up. But I usually find in there, Lola and I both have found so many high-end items, and the bonuses, they have 2 color tags during the week that are half off. And then those tags on every Sunday are $1. So I happened to go there on a Sunday. So I did hit the dollar sale. So not all of my items were $1, but a lot of them were. Now, it's really cool that they have this, because I know the region, the New York City region, which is my region now, does not have that. They have like it's like 40% off of one color, no sales, So region to region is very different.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest difference I've seen between Philly, which is, I used to go there all the time with an A, to the same Goodwill. The biggest difference I've seen so far is the pricing. So the pricing in my area seems to be a little bit lower than the Philly store. Almost all of the items I got in my haul were from the sweaters and long shirts. And those are all $3.99. And then there was one color of the week that's 50% off. So I did find a good number of those, which was nice, but it was not $1.
Okay. So the sweaters in the Goodwill in Philly are $4.99, and then some of them are marked up from that, So that's actually a good decent price for the sweaters.
Right, yeah, I was happy with it. And it didn't seem like there was anything that was marked up. There was no behind the counter besides the jewelry. There was a small jewelry case, but nothing else. No Coach bags or fake Coach bags.
Yeah.
No big boutique section like in the Philly store. And then I've definitely noticed a different assortment of brands, which makes sense region to region. I don't know about the dollar days. I think they do dollar days, but I need to confirm that.
Okay, that would be awesome if they do. Because
they do a punch card. So I think it's sort of when you spend maybe $100, which I definitely have now hit, you get $5 off your next purchase.
Yeah, and so in the New York region, the punch card is after you spend $200, you get $5 off.
Yeah, it's definitely not $200. It's lower than that. So I filled out my first punch card, and then I started my second one. And I was kind of kicking myself because I could have asked if they would let me break it up so I could use the $5, but whatever. I'll use it next time. It's not a big deal. Hi, Maggie. Just saw her say hi in the chat.
Hi, Maggie.
Okay. So we usually do like 2 items each and go back and forth. Is that good?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
Do you want to start?
Well, yeah, I should add to that because I was there on Dollar Day. The line was ridiculous. Like, I mean, it was like it was long. It was like almost to the back of the store at one point. So by the time I left, it was a little shorter, but it was still like a ridiculous line. And the kind of good thing about that is sometimes people will put things back, like right, on the racks near the register because they just don't want to wait in line. So sometimes you can grab stuff like that. I did find a couple items there, but
that's a nice silver lining.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so my first item, the everything that I'm showing was $1. The green and blue tags. So these jeans were originally $6.99. Got them for $1. They're Joe's jeans, and they are kind of like a boot cut jean, which is coming back in style.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're cute, and I would honestly, I'm estimating on all of these, and some might go higher, some might go lower, but my estimate on all of these is $20 and that's on the low end, might be able to get a little more, maybe a little, and it depends on what platform I sell them on too. Like on eBay, sometimes you do free shipping. On Poshmark, they pay for shipping. So,
although sometimes you end up giving shipping discounts, so that can eat into.
That's true too. Yeah, that's very true with Poshmark. So all of my estimates, I estimated low on the $20, and so these are the Slim Shack by American Apparel, and they're a cute acid wash. They are skinny jeans, so which is still in style. I think it's kind of fading out, but it's these were originally $6.99, and they're size 26, so they are tiny. But I think on Posh they'll do okay.
Yeah. So for American Apparel, try to figure out how old the style is, because as some people might know, there is a huge uproar about the founder's total ball and just not a very good human being, and he was forced out of the company. And I think the company was sold to Gildan, the company that makes the basic t-shirts and stuff, and went way downhill. So I was actually curious, and I recently bought a couple items from them new because I wanted to see if that, see for myself if that was true. And it's just night and day, and it's a great reason why I think a lot of people who loved American Apparel will be very happy to buy secondhand if it's the older items. I think those are. I don't know if they make jeans anymore, but try and do that.
They are like the quality. They are heavy denim. They're not like cheap light denim. They are.
You will be able to like the sweatshirt I bought from the new American Apparel is just like it's like. It's paper thin and it just feels so cheap. So I think that's probably a good sign.
Yeah, there's no date on the tag or anything, but I will look up the style. But they don't really seem cheaply made. They are heavy denim. So you know how sometimes like the jeans are just kind of like paper. They don't feel like real thick denim.
Yeah, like the Fashion Nova.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, Forever 21. Okay, so my first item I thought was going to be a huge score, and it still is a good one, but it's not as good as it used to be. So this I knew from the feel was a cashmere sweater.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
And it's a really pretty color. I looked it over carefully and found no holes, but now that I'm holding up to the light, I'm holding my breath again. But no, it looks good. Okay, so someone removed the tag. But because I know the feel of cashmere, I stopped and looked, and I was glad I did. So on the inside tag, it says Everlane. Cashmere. And it has the size and everything on here.
Awesome.
So I still have all the information I need. Everlane is a it's an expensive company, although it's a great value for what it is. They are one of those kind of disruptor companies that cut out the middleman, and so they have very high-end materials like cashmere and silk. And they say that they're radically transparent, I think is their phrase, which sometimes they are criticized for that because they don't actually say how much money their employees make in the factories in China, but they do tell you where they're made. And for a long time, they did no sales at all. Now they do some occasional sales, but they're still not frequent. I think they do like a Black Friday sale, end of the year, like after Christmas sale, and that's about it. So the resale value on Everlane was great for a really long time, but I looked up comps on this, and it looks like now they're about $30.
Okay.
They're not as great as they used to be, for sure. This could have easily been 50.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, and when you paid $3.99?
Paid $3.99. So the tag, half the tag was blue, so this one was pink. So $3.99 for that, and easily $30. So
okay, awesome.
There really are no holes. I'm going to look it over again, but yeah. So still pick up. Not as good as it used to be. Still a great Bolo brand for all of their products, and especially if you find the shoes, I think.
Okay, good tip.
Poshmark, definitely get them. And then, oh, we're going to do two, right? Okay, so then again on the theme of high-end materials, this is a brand I've never really picked up, but I know that they're known for being kind of also an eco-friendly sort of brand.
Okay.
And one of the trends that we were talking about in our last episode about spring 2020 trends is all about sustainability. So this is Pure Jill.
Okay.
Extra large. So we're talking about picking up.
Oh, it's not linen though. It's not.
No, but it is Pima cotton.
Okay, because they have a lot of the Pure Jill items are linen.
Yeah, I do have some linen, but this isn't. This is a really nice Pima cotton spandex blend. And it just feels brand new. Like it's not new with tags, but it feels like it was never worn. So,
is it made in Peru?
It is made in Peru.
Okay. Yeah, most Pima
cotton made in India. I lied.
Oh, okay. Well, most Pima cotton is Peruvian. If you see Peruvian Pima cotton, that is the best.
And so that was also $3.99. And the comps on that were $20 to $25. So not super high, but solid.
Solid.
Yeah. And I'm excited to start expanding my size range in my closet. So
yeah, very cool. So my next item is actually a two-piece item. So can you bring up the comps on the Jones? So this is a two-piece suit. You can see it's got these awesome buttons. Now I paid $1 for this, not necessarily something I would have picked up otherwise, but you can see some of the, and this is a vintage Jones New York label. It's definitely probably early 90s, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely vintage. And it's it's a nice tweed fabric. So if you can see that you saw the comps on that, they were, between like what is it, $24.99, $37.99. So I estimated this at $30, kind of in the middle.
What size is yours?
Mine is a 10, so it's a good size. And
it's definitely that like Cher from Clueless vibes.
Yeah, and it's in great condition. And the buttons are kind of cool too. They have like kind of like swirly design on them. So I'm hoping for 30. Probably eBay
or Etsy.
Etsy maybe. Yeah, that's an idea because I do want to start getting my Etsy ready. So I estimated that at 30 conservatively, kind of in the middle of what similar ones sold for. And then these are Armani Exchange. So I paid $1 for these.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the backs are cool, and they have like they have some distressing, like some of the, you can see here. So they're a boot cut. They are size, where are they? I don't see a size tag, but they look to be probably like a 28 or 30.
That would be my guess. Although not easy to see from the video because scale's off, but
yeah.
And the nice thing,
they are a 8 regular.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So the nice thing about jeans is you can also just do the measurements and people.
Yeah, so they're an 8, so that's a good size. Now, because Armani Exchange does not do as well as a regular Armani, it is like their lower end. What did you call it? A
diffusion brand.
Thank you. Yes, that was. So it's their lower end diffusion brand, but they're kind of cool. And I conservatively estimated about $20, but I might be able to get a little more for those. So that was a good. I think that was a good buy for $1.
I probably would have picked those up or at least been drawn to them for sure.
Yeah,
I've
I
wanted
wouldn't
to
have paid $6.99 for them, but for $1.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, my pile is starting to tumble. So this was a blue tag, so it was half off. So I paid $2 for this. And it's a Chico's design.
Okay.
Size 2, so I believe that's a large.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And it's just this great natural.
Oh, it's a linen. Oh,
linen.
It reminds me of like the flax jean.
I was hoping it was flax when I first picked it up, and it's not, which means worth a little bit less, but definitely, I think I decided, let's see what I said.
Eileen Fisher, flax.
20 to 30. Yeah, might be closer to 20. If it was flax, it'd be more, but
yeah. Very, but that style is sought after. So
yeah. And I think some of the comps I saw were different colors. I think the natural linen is going to appeal to more buyers. So I'm hoping for more than 20, but that's what I factored in just to be on the conservative.
Yeah. So what platform would you sell that on?
eBay. I might also, though, try to sell it on Instagram, which I've done before with some black shirts.
Okay.
If there's some sort of like wagon look, which I hear is a term I hear people on YouTube talking about all the time. I don't know anyone who's actually ever talked about dressing wagon look, even though they like the minimalist. So
I think about an older New York art teacher or something, like a New York City art teacher, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
but this also fits into the younger, my age millennial minimalist aesthetic. So there are definitely Instagram accounts that cater to that crowd.
Right.
And you don't have to pay fees and it's super easy. So I'm going to probably try that first and then eBay.
Cool. So maybe I'll grab like 3 items of
okay.
I think I have more items than you because I have the $1 sale. So these were also $1. These are vintage 90s bongo. And
those are cool.
Yeah, so I got these because we were talking about pistachio green being the color that's in.
Mm-hmm.
And they're vintage and they're kind of, they're like a tweed. And they're kind of cute. I estimated these at about $20 too. Maybe I'll get a little more, but I'm gonna try these on depop actually. I think
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, but I might put them. I'll probably cross post them, but I think they might appeal to that like kind of 90s vintage crowd. What do you think?
For sure.
Yeah. So this is, and I estimated this from comps at about $12. So this is a Victoria's Secret bralette.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, so it's like new. It doesn't have the tags on it, but it's like new. It is a size medium, so it's a decent size. And so I'm gonna try I'm estimating about $12. I'll probably put it up for like 20, and that's
that would look so cute. With actually an item that I did not buy because the resale value was not that high, but it perfectly fit into the kind of trends we were talking about. It was a crochet little vest.
Oh yeah.
Someone wearing that bralette with the crochet vest and like jean cutoff shorts.
Oh, yeah, like a little bit of it showing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like, what's the term? Festival style, that kind of thing. So
yeah, so I think I'll do it. I mean, I might be able to get more than $12 for it, but that was about like the comps that I was looking for.
Yeah, I don't think the people, like, it's younger girls usually who would wear that, so probably less like deep pockets, but I think 12, 16.
Yeah. So the brand is Grace Elements, not a brand I would normally pick up, but it's kind of fun. It's cool. I think it's like early 90s. It's definitely vintage. It is a tapestry blazer, and for $1, I thought, give it a try.
Totally for $1, I would definitely.
Yeah, so I estimated this at about 25, but give or take, and I'm probably gonna try this on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and should I do one more?
Sure.
Okay. So these jeans, and I have an estimate. I have a comp up for these. These are Levi's. Now my size is good because they're 14s. They're slender boot cut. They're corduroys. They're kind of like a grayish green color. And the comps on that.
You know what? I don't think.
That's okay. So the comps on that were about $30 actually. So for some reason the corduroys do better and the colors do better too. So I estimated these at about 30. The comp that I had was actually like 35. They were similar, but they were also a smaller size. So I'm going to try these at like, I'm going to hope, I'll start them at maybe $39.99 and see what happens. Cause somebody might be looking for that exact style and the colors are hard to find.
Yeah, corduroy is definitely in right now, especially since it's still cold weather season. I really carefully looked through all the corduroy at my store and I found nothing. I was so upset. I really wanted to pick up some corduroy. Okay. So this was another blue tag item, so it's half off.
Ah.
It's this really pretty sort of
awesome. I love it.
kimono style jacket, and it has a really interesting sleeve detail here, which is actually very,
kind of like kimono.
Yes.
Say, yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of these jacket type things that are called kimonos.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually has that sort of real kimono sleeve detail, and it's embroidered and it has these sequins. The brand is Mirasol. It is 100% rayon, size small.
I've heard that brand.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it before, but never really paid that much attention to it. And then I kept finding it over and over again at the store. So I don't know if I just, noticed it and then suddenly it was on my radar, or
yeah, I've definitely heard of the brand.
So this one, I actually have comps for it. Some people were looking for very high prices on this, but this is an active listing on Poshmark that looks like the exact same at 49, which seemed high to me, but then I did find this other one. Now it's velvet, so that's sort of a different look, but that is sold for $64.
I would price that high, Lola. I would think I would think that you could do like $49.99 for it.
Yeah, so I factored it in at 40, but I'm probably going to maybe list, especially on Poshmark, I want to leave room for offers.
Maybe a little higher, like try $59.99 and then go down from there.
Exactly. I think I'll probably start at like 60 on Poshmark and maybe 50 on eBay. Just because I know on Poshmark I'm going to decrease the price to get.
Exactly. I always add a little bit on Poshmark as well.
Exactly. And hope for 40 to 50 on that. But I did factor in at 40, so I didn't want to, cheat.
Right.
By overinflating my prices. And then another half off item. This one I don't think it's an older piece. It is new with tags, but it's Lane Bryant.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's a good size, and blue tag half off, so $2.
Oh, nice.
And it's a nice basic. So even though it's definitely a little bit of an older piece,
but it's like a nice basic career top for,
Exactly. Yes. And this is just a nice layering piece. Like you could wear this under a cardigan that has a little bit more, maybe
like you. And like we're gonna do a show eventually on plus size items, and plus size women want to be cute too. So when you find styles, yeah. So what size was that?
So that was a 14-16.
Okay, that's a good size, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, it wouldn't be more than like $10, $15. I factored it in at $10, but
I think you might be able to get more for that.
I'm hoping for it, but even if I get 10 for $2, and also
I'm thinking more like 20 on that, actually.
I definitely looked up comps and I didn't see anything that high, especially because it's an older style.
Yeah.
And it was on sale for 20 in the store. So,
I would still try I'd price it at like $24.99.
Oh yeah, no, I will start it a little bit higher, but I be happy to get between 10 and 15.
Right.
Hello, Anne Marie, just saw.
Hi, Anne Marie. So this is a sheer top. It was $1. It is just if I can find the tag. It's just Ann Taylor. I think is it Loft? Yeah, I'm sorry, it's Loft. So which is Ann Taylor, but it's like it's like a nice little career shirt. It's sheer, so you have to wear like a cami under it, but it's it's a super cute pattern. So I estimated this at 15.
My Loft has not moved very fast on Poshmark.
I move it. It just takes.
It just But that was $1.
I might try eBay on that actually and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then this this was not $1. I paid $3.99 for this. It is an Anthro brand. The postal stamp brand. I don't know if you can.
I remember. Yeah, you sent me.
I can't remember how to pronounce the actual name of it, but it's.
Is it like Air Postal or something?
No, it's Anthro.
No, I mean the Anthro brand, like the sub brand.
Oh, I don't know. It's like a postal. It's like 9N15 or something. It's like a.
I definitely know the tag.
Yeah, so this is an Anthro brand, and the other, and it's kind of a cool style. It's not really a sweater, but it is like a heavier cotton knit, and it is. Let's see. It's so you can tell if something is Anthro because on the inside, normally, not all. This does not apply to all. You probably can't read that, but it will say Anthropology on the inside too, which it does. So I estimated this at $24.99. Maybe a little less, but you know.
I think the nice thing about that is for Anthropology, it's a very classic piece. I think a lot of
it is. It's not. Yeah, I agree.
A lot of times it ends up looking dated very fast because it is a little trendier. That one is just nice and classic. So I think it's going to have that staying power.
So we were talking about fringe being in, and I found this. It is Ann Taylor, regular Ann Taylor, not law. And it's a cute blazer. It's kind of like a tweed, a neutral color, but it's got that fringe edge on it.
That's cute.
So I bought that for $1, and I also estimated this at like $24.99. Yeah. It's nice and heavy. It is wool actually. So
list it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh no, your picture.
That's okay. Well,
I hope it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Do you have more?
I do.
Okay.
Excuse me. Okay, so this is another piece I was super excited about. And I actually am not entirely sure still how to price it because, well, you'll see. It's a good brand, but it's also style. So I paid $3.99 for this because it was not half off.
Ooh.
So it's hard to tell from, it's dark, but it is this really cool texture.
Yeah. Is it wool or is it like fleece?
It's a good question. I don't think it's wool.
Is it like a polyester fleece maybe?
I think so. It's definitely from the 90s. It reminds me of the like limited 2 sweaters that I hated, but all my friends had. Okay, so it's 94% wool, 6% nylon.
Oh, nice. So it is wool. That's
wool.
That's a nice thing, yeah.
Yes, but it's that like the nubby boucle, fuzzy 90s. It's cropped, so that's, in style. And
super cute.
And it's Eileen Fisher.
Oh, nice. Wow.
So definitely vintage Eileen Fisher.
Yeah, that was a good find.
But I think it might appeal to Eileen Fisher fans as well as sort of the younger millennial crowd or Gen Z crowd even, that's re-embracing the 90s trends. Okay. And I definitely feel like I love this because I feel like I had no fashion sense the first time around. And while all my friends were shopping limited too, I was wearing like t-shirts and mom jeans, which are actually kind of what I wear now, but they weren't cool then. So this is, the high-end version of that. And it's really soft and warm.
Cool. I love it.
The best comps I could find were like $30, but trying to find an Eileen Fisher vintage piece is hard because it is one of those brands that everyone knows is a bolo. So there's, it's gone down in value a little bit. There's a lot of it on eBay, but this is special. So I might list it at $50, $60 and hope for something more like that. But to be conservative, again, I only factored in 30 because it may be one of those things that it also gets lost if there's a lot of, because it is Eileen Fisher, like it's hard to sort through a lot of results on eBay to find something that's a little funkier.
Yeah, I think that's something that you can kind of name your price on a little bit, Yeah.
So I'm definitely hoping, like, I'll put this on Depop, I'll put this on Poshmark. I'll do my best to describe it with keywords. So that, like,
were you going to list it for about 40 or so?
I think I might try like 50, 60.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope for 40 to 50.
Yeah, I think you can get 40 at least out of that. So yeah.
Anyway, so that was one of my most fun finds.
That's a good one.
Let's see. I have like 4 items left.
Okay.
5 items left.
I have a little more, so I'll do a couple then. Do you want to do another one or?
I can do one more.
Okay.
Let you do like 3 or 4. So this is another vintage piece.
Ooh, I love it. Oh my gosh.
So it's just like a black cotton sweater, but it has, I need to move my coffee because I'm like,
you might need to keep that, Lola.
Oh, it crossed my mind. So let's see. Can you see all the texture on here?
That is so you. Oh
like
my god.
Faux skin, and then it's velvet, and this is like a lame kind of thing.
I love that. I absolutely love it. Oh my god.
Maybe I'll wear it and then I'll list it.
Yeah, I think that you can get a decent price on that because it's so unique.
Oh yeah. So excuse me. This brand it's called Erica.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you can see there's a little discoloration on the tag, but I think I can get that out. And it is Rainy. Is that the same as rayon? It's for a different.
Is Raimi like viscose?
Yeah, I think so. You're right. Cotton blend. Other sweaters of this brand were a little all over the place. Oh, I do have comps for this one. So some of them were a little more plain. They were still going for like $20 to $30, which is what I would have guessed. And then the ones that are a little bit more over the top, obviously are going to have higher comps. So this is too.
Oh, I love the one on the right. That's awesome.
I know. I was really bummed when I saw the rainbow one is sold out. So that was $20 on Posh sold, but that's not as over.
Oh, right. It's a rainbow. Yeah. So
yeah, and then the one on this is listed on Etsy for $34. So again, Etsy comps are going to be higher for vintage, and it's a little bit more ostentatious, but mine is better than either of these in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So I factored this in at 40 because I definitely would hope for that or even
easily. Yeah, I think that's conservative. That is definitely my hands down favorite piece that you have found.
I think I should have saved this for the end because this is definitely.
I love it. Oh my god,
favorite as well. Yeah. Oh, it's got shoulder pads. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's awesome. I love it. So it would look awesome on you. You should probably wear it before.
I probably should wear it.
Yeah.
Convinced me. I really don't need more sweaters though. There are like 3 sweaters where I was like, oh, maybe I'll keep this. No, I've done that. Like,
I know.
It's many times I've gone thrifting, I've gotten a new sweater. I don't need any more sweaters, but I could wear it once or twice.
Can you bring up the comps on the book that I have? So this is Christmas. It's a Christmas on Stage. It is a pop-up book from 1950. Yeah, so
cool.
The comps on it, one sold, and these all did sell before Christmas. So you see, I think what is one $19.99, one's $22 something, and then one sold at $48.50, and it was in about the same condition as mine. Maybe mine is in because it's a little rough around the edges, but that one did have some condition issues. So kind of all over the place between 20 plus shipping and 40. So or was it 48? I think it sold for. That's a little high, but somebody sold it for that. So I think now also I might have some issues because it's not around Christmas, but I might just put it on eBay and let it sit, see what happens for, like maybe I'll try like $49.99. I don't know.
It's a book. It's easy to store.
I did estimate this at $20, which was a low estimate.
Yeah.
But because I don't know what's gonna, but it's
right. I would definitely list it high with the best offer and
3D pop up, and then it has like the the musical note on the other side. So it's just I love it. It's so cool. I want to keep it. I want to keep it, but I have no real use for it. So, and the other thing is all the pop-ups are in perfect shape, like nothing's ripped or anything. So it's just so cute. It's so 50s.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that this actually does well, but I did estimate it at 20 conservatively, but like I said, one sold at 48. So you never know. Maybe somewhere in the middle.
Totally. Yeah, especially if the inside is flawless. Like it looks like the wear is just on
The
the
inside is a cover is the only wear, and it's mostly.
I could see collectors wanting to display that sort of open to a page. So that's
yeah, that's true. So that was a cool. Oh, and I paid 49 cents for that.
nice.
Yeah, I was like, how much? And she's like, oh, 49 cents. I'm like, okay. So this I picked up based on what we talked about with the trends. So it's kind of prairie. It's got that kind of muted floral, and it's got the crochet on it. It's got like the crochet on the belt.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, it's so
section, yeah. And it is, so it's, I think the style will sell it. The brand will not. It's Moda International, which is owned by Victoria's Secret. It's a Victoria's Secret brand. And
I mentioned that.
Yeah. So
I haven't.
It's not like necessarily, but I think the style will sell it. And there's that's owned by Victoria's Secret. So it's a size small, but it's like an oversized. So I'm gonna try this on Posh, and I think I estimated it at like 25, but maybe I can get a little more for it because of the style, because it's super cute. And spring is coming up, so and
it looks like a pretty good size too, right? It's not super tiny.
Small. It's a small, but it's a good size. Yeah.
It looks like it could fit a medium. It's definitely not like
And I mean, for $1 though, that was, and this I got it based on style. So this is $1 too. This is not good. This is probably saw like, coming up in the summer. It's just a plain white skirt. It's kind of a peak cotton, like a textured,
Yeah.
You can see the texture in it, but it's got a nice texture. So the brand is Nanette Lepore, which is a good brand, but it hasn't been selling as well for me. But still, for $1, I picked this up. It's a size 4. And I estimated this at about $24.99. But I think it's a nice staple item. It's a pencil skirt. So
that definitely seems like someone who would wear Lily, pairing that with like a Lily.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Nanette Lepore doesn't move that fast for me, but the last few times I've sold it, it still had a pretty solid return. So
yeah, it does. It does. And I would say the same thing about it. Yeah. So, okay, you're up.
Okay, so speaking of Victoria's Secret as a parent company.
Really?
I picked up this amazing dead stock, new with tags, vintage turtleneck, or more like a mock neck, but it does fold over. It has a zipper down the back. Great ribbing.
What's the brand?
The brand is called Grand Prix.
Oh.
100% acrylic fibers. This is how you know what the age is on here, because do not dry clean. And you know that they're putting that on the tag as a selling point. So this you can throw in your washing machine. It is newfangled technology. It's definitely 70s based on the brand, which I could find when I looked up the RN number. This was registered to, check my notes, Mast Industries in Woburn, Massachusetts. So from what I can tell, Mast is now the name of the parent company of Victoria's Secret, which is also
that is so crazy.
Yeah, so it's this huge conglomerate. So it includes like the Limited, Express, Victoria's Secret, all of these little like no name. I mean, this was just like some subsidiary brand that if you Google it, there's like 2 pieces of vintage clothing with this brand. So it's not the brand itself that's going to sell it, but the fact that it is a great style that
that's really cute.
It's sort of, I feel like this is sort of like streetwear-esque. I
want to try it on Depop.
Yeah, exactly. And it has the appeal of it being
very cool.
So I put down 30 for this. That might be a little ambitious, but it is hard to, yeah. I mean, vintage is really hard to price. Even after doing this for years, sometimes things sell, sometimes things don't.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, it's kind of like a thing where some items you can kind of name your price because there's nothing really to compare. So
right, and all you need is that one buyer who's willing to sell. So yeah.
So
oh, and then
you have another one.
I actually have 3 more items. So
okay. Why don't you do one more and then I'll do a couple.
Okay. So this is another brand I feel like I've seen before, but I had passed. And this time I was looking out specifically for slightly larger sizes. So it's not super plus size, but it is an extra large. And the size is, or the brand is Tianello. See that?
Oh, interesting.
And it is this really nice tunic length top, really pretty,
I love it.
sort of sea
You
green.
have such a good eye for,
All things, yeah.
for like
I
the
love
like,
it.
kind of like the off, kind of
So this is,
eccentric, edgy items. Yeah.
that's what I love finding. And this one definitely caught my eye. Well, not my eye, more my hand, because I was sort of flipping through the items and I felt the texture of this fabric, which is just so great. And then when I looked at it, definitely had to look closer. This is a nice brand because it does have the style name on the tag. So it was really easy to look
Cotton?
up.
Is it cotton or
Sorry?
is it cotton?
It is, I think this can also be Pima cotton, but I don't know why. Let's see.
It looks like
I totally lied. Rayon poly spandex, but it is
Okay.
in the USA. So that's definitely.
so it's a good, yeah. So
And so I looked up comps. So this one is almost exactly the same as mine.
yeah.
This is a sold. I don't know why it doesn't look like a sold. This was a best offer, but it was originally listed at 40. So I would assume, maybe 35, 38.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's in line with these other comps in the sold.
And looking at the comps, it looks like there's a following for the brand. Like there are people that know the brand and look for it. So.
Yes. And I looked at the brand's website, and the full price for items like this was like 70, 80.
Yeah, it looks like something.
So it wasn't cheap, but in terms of the percentage of value, that they're selling for used, it holds its value pretty well. So I definitely would pick this up again, and I'm excited to see how fast it sells.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool. So I am going to grab, see, I'm trying not to destroy this drawing that fell. So I have these, I think you'll appreciate these, Lola. So the brand is Nicole.
Oh, I love that brand.
Yeah, so they are, and these fit me too, by the way. They're size 9, but they're kind of like a little bigger. So
they're my size. I'd be buying them from you right now.
So the outsoles are perfect. Like they look like they've never been worn. They're made in Brazil. It's Survivor is so I will probably sell these. They do fit me though, so I'm kind of on the fence. But I priced them. I estimated them at 30. So
at least, yeah.
So but the condition is absolutely amazing, and they were $1. So
not bad. I think mules are going to be in again this summer.
Yeah,
in the past couple of years.
So these are, can't find the other shoe, but I'll show you the one. These are Diesel. The brand is Diesel.
Ooh, those are good.
Which is a European brand that used to do, I think, a little bit better in the 90s, but it's still, it's still sought after. The cool thing is on the heel, they have this cool, like blue striping. You can see it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so they're in excellent condition. They're a little scuffed on the bottom, but nothing like, and I estimated these at like 35 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think?
Easily, yeah.
So they were $1. So these are one of the items, by the way, when I was in line that were kind of like chucked to the side because somebody didn't want to wait in line, I think, and they just kind of stashed them. So I found these, and the boots were another thing. Now that's going to be my next item. Can you bring up the comps on?
Yes, and real quick, sorry, can I just respond to Elizabeth has a comment about the vintage, especially hard to price vintage, especially the awesome plus size vintage. I would list plus size vintage as high as you think you can go, because
because that's going to be after.
Yes, and if you may already know this, Elizabeth, but for anybody else, the keyword volup, as in like voluptuous, is a great keyword for plus size vintage. Collectors will search that and use that, especially like Etsy, but also eBay. I haven't seen it on Posh, but there are so many great vintage, more like collectors groups. Like a lot of groups.
Yeah, I would say definitely. If you have plus size, you can definitely almost name your price on it, because it's definitely more sought after. And like I said, plus size women want to be cute too, and they want their vintage items too. So, and they are harder to find. So
But if you join these collectors groups on Facebook, a lot of times people will talk about how much they paid for items.
Right.
You're not allowed to sell there, but you can get an idea of what people are willing to pay, and that's a really great way to learn a little bit about pricing.
Good tip. So I have these boots. I'll show them. Lola, bring up the comps. These are. I did pay $10 for these. The brand is Baffin, which I did not understand. But when I pull up the there's my Levi's. So when I pull up the comps, they are one sold. Now this is about these are the same exact. The style is called Loki. So these are the same style, the ones that sold, and they sold for, don't know what they sold for, but they were originally $60 and they sold on a best offer plus shipping. So now some of them, you can see one is like $85. I can't.
99.
Yeah, the bottom one, what is it, like 90 or something?
99, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So some of them sell for a lot. Now it seems like the heavier, more utilitarian ones sell for more. These are kind of in the middle on that, but they are in almost unworn condition. The only thing is, and I might be able to get this out, there is like an oil stain on these on the side. It looks like
a bummer.
Yeah, so that's kind of, and I didn't notice that till I brought them home, but I think I might be able to buff that out with like a suede brush because they are actual suede.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, it's on the inside at least. So, but they're super cute. They're size 7, so. If they fit me, if they were like a 9.5, I would have kept them.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, so I did pay $10 for these. They were $9.99, not part of the sale, but these were also like right by on the rack, like somebody chucked them, like they were gonna probably buy them and didn't want to wait in line. So I estimated these at $50 conservatively, but I think I would get a little more. The only bummer is that one stain, but like I said, even if I can't get it out, it's on the inside, so.
Right, and with an item that's that expensive, if you have someone who's on a budget but really likes that brand, they'll be probably willing to accept a flaw like that, especially because those kind of boots, you're going to get them damaged with the, what's it, like the salt when it's snowing and stuff like that. Sort of inevitable.
So I have, let's see, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my rest of my items here. Okay, so I have a couple more. Do you have more, Lola?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so why don't you go?
Okay. So this is another item similar in idea to the kimono top that I found. It's more of a longer duster, but it is velvet, and it might not show up very well.
Ooh.
So it's a darker velvet floral, like dark purple, dark green on black.
Nice.
And it is sort of 90s, maybe early 2000s.
Talbot's okay, yeah, but Talbot had some cute stuff, especially in the 90s. They had some really cute prints and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. And it's a lot like the Eileen Fisher piece. I think this is going to appeal more to people who are looking for the 90s style than the Talbot's brand, even though it's a brand that has
definitely
following.
So what did you estimate that at?
Sorry, trying to get the link. So this is, definitely.
Oh, it's cute. It's like it's like a tunic length. Nice.
So this was one that was really all over the place. I tried to find other Talbot's items. I couldn't find anything similar to this. And then I was looking up velvet dusters, and some of them were $80, $90, which I think may be a little high for this because a lot of those were also full length. But I think conservatively $40, $30 to $40.
Oh yeah, I think that's a good estimate. Yeah. So Lola, I think you did great actually.
So as I'm saying all of this, I feel like when I added up my total, I went with like the
a little conservative. I think your total maybe a little lower than I was conservative on mine too, but I think you were a little ultra conservative. So
I'm just being a pessimist.
I know, and you do have to estimate on the low end. Plus the fact that you have, like, we did not account for in our totals fees if we have free shipping because we don't know what platform we're going to sell on. So this was just the total profit minus what we spent. So the total minus what we spent. So yeah. So I mean, it's an estimate. So it's So okay. So is that all of your items then?
I have 2 more.
Oh, you do? Okay. So let's see.
So this was sort of a gamble. I'm not sure if I'm going to regret it. I mean, I'll make my money back, but so it's C.E. Schmidt workwear. This is the kind of thing that you don't really find in Philly, but you do find out here because there's actually like farms and stuff like that.
I don't know the brand. Yeah.
So I picked it up just because it felt really like it's the nice kind of cotton that once it's broken in, it just gets softer.
Is that a men's shirt?
It's a woman's shirt.
Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, it's got the pearl snap button. The actual snaps?
It has actual snaps.
Oh,
yeah.
Those pearl snaps are, that's a good word. And that kind of makes it Western wear, but it's not.
Exactly. It's fully lined, which I love that contrast.
Very cool.
Yes. So it's not a very high-end brand. It's sold at like Tractor Supply or something, which I've never been to in my life.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Being a city girl here, like that's
yeah, I'm like out of my element. 15 to 20, I think I factored in 15. I probably would want more like 20 because it does have the pearl snap.
You get more like 20 for it with those snaps. People actually do look for that. So
yes. So we'll see. But it was a gamble. It was one of those things that you can find here that I wouldn't have found before. So like an experiment. And this is my last item. This is the first sweater that I was thinking I might just keep for myself. So it is Woolrich.
Oh yeah, that's a good brand.
Brand specifically is,
and it's a vintage one. Oh yeah,
Woolrich. Will say that 3 times fast. The Woolrich Woman, size medium, made in Hong Kong. 85% wool, 15% nylon.
Hong Kong. So that's definitely 80s, probably.
Yeah. Wool nylon blends are great because it actually adds to the longevity of the wool. It's not a way to like cheapen the material. It just makes it more durable. And this is the sweater. It's this really pretty marled, like light blue and light pink, which is
I love it.
The 2 Pantone.
Yeah, I love that. It's kind of like a heathered kind of. Yeah.
Yes, it's beautifully heathered. That's a great term for it. And actually probably a keyword I should use.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I think these were the Pantone colors of the year like 3 or 4 years ago, but they're definitely you still see them today.
Oh, I love it. I love that sweater. In fact, I would have trouble selling it. It's like one of those.
Oh yeah.
It looks super cozy, but I think that you could easily get 40 for that.
So that would be my hope for the high end. So now you're going to laugh at me because I'm such a pessimist, apparently. I factored in 20.
Oh, no. That's.
So I think, do I have the comps here? I do not.
I think you can do much better than that.
So this particular brand, the Woolrich.
I call it Woolrich. I don't know if it's Woolrich or Wool.
I think it's Woolrich. Maybe it is Woolrich.
I don't know.
This brand specifically,
there were
there were a lot of sweaters that were listed and it's sold for like $30 to $40 that had a lot of embellishments. So because this one is just plain,
but it has another word for that is variegated.
I think variegated would, well, at least for yarn terms, variegated would be more like over the gradient.
Yeah.
Color. So this I think
like ombre.
Yes, more like ombre. But I mean, non-yarn people might call this variegated. So yeah. Anyway, I love it.
It's very nice.
I might keep it.
That is a great find. And I would say if you are going to list it now. And I would say list it at like $49.99.
It does need a little pill shaving. So this is definitely one of those cases where like taking the time to get.
But that's really easy to get off.
Exactly.
Yeah. I recommend that everyone have a clothes shaver in their arsenal of items for like your shoe polish but I keep a clothes shaver too because it's so easy to get those pills off with that.
It makes a huge difference.
So I only have a few more items here. So these are $1. So these are aerosols, but the style is super cute. So aerosols, the brand in itself is kind of like one of those bread and butter brands, but they're super cute. And, I love that little wedge heel. And
oh, that's a cute, it's like wedge, but not traditional wedge. So it's
they're kind of like, I think it's called like a Cuban heel.
Did not know that term.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a Cuban heel and it's kind of like wedgy, but kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So these are a size, I think they're like a 7 or something. 8. They're an 8. So they're a good steady size, in good condition. I got them for $1. So I estimated these at like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
So,
are a nice work too. Good basic.
so my next item is, I got this because it was $1.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it's hard to see. It's Pure One. And it's it's like a chandelier kind of style wine bottle stopper. Has the original price on it, which was 15. But it also comes with this cute little wine bottle decoration thing. So I am trying to ramp up. It's Pure One. It's all Pure One.
Mm-hmm.
So I am trying to ramp up my like home decor, my home items on Posh. Sorry, like a brain. So I'm trying to ramp up that because I don't have a lot of home items, and I think this would be a good Posh home item to sell as a set. And now the comps for just the bottle stoppers were like 10 to 15 dollars. So I'm gonna put it up for like 20 and hope with the set. So
yeah, that would be a great like bridal shower item.
Yeah, it's really cute. So Lola, okay, my last item, drum roll. This is the item that this was on the rack. Now I paid $5.99 for it. It was on the rack that, like where they put them, where they're putting things out. So it just came out from the back. And I grabbed this so fast.
Is it long? Oh, it is Longchamp. I knew it from the flap. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. You're right. I would flip about that. That is gorgeous.
I knew you were gonna die. So yeah, it's definitely authentic Longchamp. It's got like the
Oh yeah, I can just the quality of it just even from here.
Yeah, it's got like the Longchamp lining, and it is like buttery leather, and it's kind of like a almost like a woven fabric. It feels like it might be wool. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I cannot find for the life of me this style anywhere. I've researched, and I found like similar like the nylon bags with the leather trim.
Yeah, I would definitely find the style before posting it because
I don't know. Maybe you can help me on that one because I just seem to actually there are tags in it, so I wonder. Look at that.
Is it the original?
It's got the leather Longchamp.
Oh, that's
so it is. There's a number on it, but there's no actual style name.
But there's a number. There's like a serial number.
Longchamp Paris, made in France, and then there's like a number, an item number on it. But so maybe that'll help. But there's no style name on it.
The item number might be the style number, so it's worth it.
I conservatively estimated this at 50.
No. Oh no.
I think it's gonna be more.
Like 150 to 200, maybe.
You really think that much for this?
I sell the La Pliage, which is like the nylon bags.
The nylon bags were comping at like 50.
Yes. And I sell those like, if I've had them listed, I sell them like hotcakes. The real leather ones and like one like that, if you can't find it and it's maybe rarer.
Yeah.
It could be, I would say 150 to 200. That's a guess.
Oh my gosh. So wow. I really was conservative on it, but
yeah,
I couldn't find it. And I know like the nylon bags go for less. So this is an amazing find for $5.99.
Oh my God. I'm so jealous.
I knew you would die over that one.
I found that it would not be selling on Poshmark. It would be in my closet.
Well, I have to sell it because I do need the money.
Yeah.
But it is in like new condition. I swear
it's
never been used. It's like flawless, clean interior. So somebody never used this. I think they were.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Lola. I got to find this. I have to figure it out, but I couldn't find anything like it. Feels like it's wool. I'm not sure, but it feels like a wool.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Actually, probably like I was talking about the wool and nylon. I could see that being also similar because it has that durability. But it's
it's definitely it's not nylon. It's definitely, and it's also got this cool silver piping on it.
It's so pretty.
So yeah, so that was like my holy grail find.
I'm just gonna research this for you for fun.
I knew you would drool over this one. I knew you would die.
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
So I estimated that at 50, so my comps are probably a little low then, but I didn't know what I would be able to get for it because I was pricing it based on the nylon bags that I could find that were similar, but this is not a nylon bag. So
No, I mean the nylon bags, they're the real leather, but just the flap. Like the materials are so much less expensive, and those bags new are like the smaller ones. I think are like 75 to 80. The larger ones are like 120, 130. So they really hold their value. But that one I could see being like a $500 bag.
yeah, it's
Funny.
just like the quality is. So yeah, that was my ultimate find for $5.99. I grabbed that as soon as I saw it. I knew what it was, and I just grabbed that so fast.
I love how distinctive the flap is with the snap, because as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's definitely a long shot.
So I have a couple. So that's all of my items, but I do have a couple bonus items that I bought for myself or my kids, and this is one of them. I want to get back into I am an artist. I'm a graphic designer, school, fine arts and graphic design. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, so I should be doing my fine arts again. So I do want to start, drawing and painting and whatnot again. So I found it's all Canson, which is a good brand.
Oh yeah, those are
it's all sketchbook, watercolor paper, pastel paper. So it's just a whole lot of them for $2.99.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, that was so that's for me because I want to start doing my fine art. Now these I also picked up. They were $1 each. I don't know if I might be able to do something with them. They're vellum now. I remember in the old art school days, we actually did use vellum as an overlay.
Is it the actual like sheer vellum, or is it?
Yeah, if any of you know, if any of you went to art school, especially back in the day when I went, you use this like over.
Oh, it is.
Map your work on cardboard and then use this as an overlay. So I'm not sure. I did look up comps for these, and I could probably sell this for like $25 or so.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, but so I don't know if I'm going to keep the vellum or sell it, and then this is for me, Phillies.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
Yeah, so I am a Philly girl, so I have to keep that. And then my kids, I always buy clothes for my kids. So my oldest son is growing like a weed, and all of his pants have been like high waters on him. He'll come downstairs and he'll be in these pants that are like up to, like his whole ankle showing. I'm like, you cannot wear those. So I've been looking for pants. So these are Puma brand, and they're really cute. They have like that. So these were $1. These were part of the dollar sale. So
good deal.
Yeah, and I got a seal of approval from him. He does like them. So
awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I found, and it's my whole haul.
Cool. We have a bunch of people.
So I think your best item is definitely that sweater, with the crazy designs on it. Yeah.
I just wanted to say hi to all the people in the chat who I think have said hello and joined us in the middle of the haul. So hi, I see Jacob, Jenny, home from the grocery store. Jenny, check one of Nay's items. I think you'll like it. That you might have
yeah. Jenny will definitely. And Jenny might have some input on that too. So.
And hi to Christy, who said hi to us too. And Elizabeth said something really sweet. You both found cool stuff. Interesting to hear your process. I'm so glad that's kind of what we love to share, because there's always so much thought that goes into every purchase, even if it sort of happens like on the fly, and it's fun to talk about. So I'm glad you guys are learning.
Yeah, and I also I know you do the same thing, Lola. If you're going through a whole rack and you don't have a lot of time, you use your sense of touch too. Like you can feel quality, you can pull it out really easily. I just wanted to also highlight what Maggie said. She was once I remember doing the class with Maggie. Were you at that class, Lola? You might have been.
I was. I think that was maybe the class where we met, actually.
Yeah, I'm not. I did a couple classes. I did one with Jason, a couple with Jason, I guess, and then I did a couple on my own. So yeah, so I remember Maggie, and awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. That's such a nice thing to say. And Lola and I might be doing classes in the future.
We keep talking about doing something
that we were talking about. Yeah, so
because New York's not halfway, but easy for both of us to get to. So
yeah. So
we'll see. Let us know if you're interested.
Yeah, if you're interested in something like that, let us know and we can set something up.
So the only other thing that I got besides the stuff I'm about to flip was, as you may know, if you're following social media, there's a big push for crafters to create nests and pouches for the wildlife in Australia who
Ah,
are surviving the wildfires. So one of the materials that they were suggesting for Joey pouches was old t-shirts. So, oops, was that you or was that me?
oh, I don't know. Oh, somebody clicked on that.
I think that was me hitting the keyboard with my. Anyway, so old t-shirts. So I went through the t-shirt rack and I pulled out, here, let's see, there's the blue ones, so 50% off, and I tried to find the extra large and large ones, so there's a little bit more fabric. I also tried to find the ones that had the least printing on it because I didn't know if that might be detrimental to the animals. They said specifically the 100% cotton because it's breathable, and the Joeys need the pouch to be breathable. So this will keep me busy all weekend sewing pouches for the animals. And
so where do you send those? Is there a specific?
So it's a little bit of a madhouse. There are specific hubs that are regional. So basically what they're doing is there are people who are accepting them in different states in the country, and then those people are sending them to hubs in like different parts of the US regionally, and then each of those people are going to send them to Australia. So you have to, if you're interested in doing this, go on Facebook. I can link, I forget the name of the Facebook group. I can link it in the description of this video, and make sure you find the right person because it seems like it's a little chaotic because so many people want to help, but obviously it's hard to coordinate a big effort from a different continent.
Yeah, you wanted to actually go to where it's going to benefit. Yeah. So,
but if you're thrifting this weekend, I want to look for materials. So 100% cotton knit t-shirts, cotton yarn, washable wool yarn, and acrylic yarn are all needed. And if you can't craft, you can always pass it on to someone you know who does, or once you find these Facebook groups, you can offer it up. A lot of people are very excited to take materials. I know a lot of people were saying they're heading to like Michael's and Joann to buy yarn, and I think it'd be great if we could use secondhand materials instead of buying new.
definitely.
So, a great way for thrifters to get involved in something good.
Very cool. I love
That's a little PSA for today.
Awesome.
And
let's
see. Okay, so my total apparently is way off.
Yeah, I think you underestimated.
So I spent $40.
Yeah.
And I think the $40 was also not quite right. I think I got overcharged for some of the half off items, but it may have been the t-shirt, so I didn't include it in the total. And then I said my estimated profit, so minus total comps minus the $40 is $295. And I think it may be more like $350. It sounds like.
I think so. Yeah, I think you were up there a little bit more, like $350 or so. So.
And then
mine was conservative too. Long chomp. So I had estimated the long chomp and the boots at $50 each. So I think I can add to that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that was my concern. So I spent $38.58, and my estimated profit was $456.42, which was conservative.
Philly definitely is better thrifting than out here.
Yeah, I can see. I'm really spoiled by Philly because around in my area, I'm closer to New York City, but in my immediate area, there's really not a whole lot. And a lot of the Goodwills are just not like, it's either Target salvage or like tons of that, or just their prices are higher. So we're really, really lucky to have.
Yeah, I think the closest really good like city thrifting to me is probably a toss up between New Haven and Boston. They're both about the same distance, like driving wise. So those are where the closest bins are. Like, I need to get creative and find different ways to source. That's definitely my project for this.
Yeah, well, online sourcing is another option.
I was listing and heard my name. Nay found a Christmas item.
I found a Christmas item.
Who doesn't know, Jenny is a vintage.
Yeah, so I will flash it up real quick again. So this is what I found, Jenny. It's 1950 copyrighted pop-up book from, and I did find a comp for, it's all 3D pop-up, super cute. So
very fun.
yeah, so I did find a comp for that for 48, but then some went for like 20. So I have no idea what exactly to price it at. So
Let's see, Nate, you want to do our news story? Because I think
sure. So thrifting, breaking thrifting. Now this is not actually directly related to thrifting, but it is indirectly related. So we are going to talk about Macy's and how they have just announced that they were going to be closing 28 stores and a Bloomingdale store. So they're starting to close out their stores, which is surprising because Macy's has been a staple. I remember Macy's was Bamberger's. I don't know if you remember that, Lola.
I don't think it was so Macy's.
So Macy's was Bamberger's where I am.
It bought out Filene's. So I don't know if you know, like Filene's Basement.
Yeah. But they also Bamberger's. They also took over Bamberger stores like back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually remember my grandmother used to call it Bams. And yeah, so anyway, they are closing their stores. They have been a staple forever. Macy's has always been around, so it's surprising, but it's not surprising because what is happening is online, the online realtors are kind of knocking out the brick and mortar stores. So they just can't compete with the online sales. So that was actually what was cited in the article as the reason that their profits were not as high as they have been in the past because of that. So
yeah, and another article on the same topic that I found had the headline, I think it was an Associated Press article, and it said something like, Macy's future is going to be smaller. Like the only way to survive is to be smaller. So I thought that was interesting. And it seemed like really like they have to shift their focus to online sales just like everybody else in order to keep moving forward. And it just reminds me, so there's the beautiful building in downtown Philly, the Wanamaker building. That's
yeah.
And did you ever make it out to Suburban Square in Ardmore? And it's like on the other side of Philly from you, but there's a beautiful, that Macy's closed like 2 or 3 years ago. And it was one of those beautiful old department stores. It just felt like a palace.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just interesting that was what once drew people in. And now we have the internet. And
so it's definitely like online sales are definitely best where people are going. And like we talked about, people are going for the more sustainable. Now, Macy's was doing a partnership with ThredUp. We need to follow up on that.
I did a little searching for it. I didn't see any update about how it's going. So I'm definitely hoping that there will be some reporting on that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it went south,
Yeah. But it seems like it's still going on. It was still on their website, but it didn't say anything about, how successful it's been.
Yeah.
So John has a great question. What time period would you expect to sell your items?
Wow.
What do you say?
So I do have items that are up for an embarrassing amount of time. Sometimes, on eBay, I'll have items that I'm like, wow, this sold. It's been listed for like, a year and a half or something. So I try not to go for that, but I want my items to move within a few months. So, like 2 to 3 months is nice. And that sounds like a long time, but things rotate. And I think the more you list, the more you sell too, because it affects the algorithm. So yeah, so I like my items to cycle through with, and some items, they will sell faster, they're more sought out, but.
Absolutely. I could see some of like the snow boots that you found just because there's
something that's going to sell probably sooner than later. Now I need to list them because now is, as opposed to like in April when there's not going to be people looking for snow boots.
Totally. Yeah. I think that's a good time frame. I definitely feel that I don't mind things taking a while to sell because.
Yeah. And sometimes if you price things higher, they'll sit for longer than if you price them lower. But I would rather them sit for longer and get the higher return on them than just, like if I put that Longchamp bag up now for like $40, it would sell immediately. But I wouldn't be getting the same profit as if I put it up for, like Lola said, a lot higher, and it sits for, maybe a couple months, and then, I get the higher return. I'd rather that.
That's exactly how I feel. Also, I think especially on Poshmark, because it's really easy to scroll down and see your sold listings, if you start selling things for pretty cheap, it's hard to get that momentum going again, where you're seen as a closet that has higher end items that are worth more money. And there's such a like strong kind of psychological effect of the perceived value. So if someone goes in and sees a bunch of $15 items, they're going to expect the next item to be
That's very true. That's a good point.
high end something, you know.
Yeah.
And on that note, Nay, you have some very high-end somethings.
I did have some really good sales that I was really excited. Actually, 3 of the ones that I'm showing actually happened overnight. Yeah, just I woke up this morning to these sales and I was super excited. And yeah, so our market report is our 2 most recent sales. Now I do have a couple more because of the fact that we'll explain. This is, I know I had showed this in a haul. It's a vintage, a designer is Todd Oldham. I remember him very well in the 90s. Awesome designer. And he kind of did like, you know, crazy prints and really funky stuff. So vintage 90s, I took an offer. Now I had it up for 135. Might have been able to get a little more, but I was happy. Sold it for, I took a best offer for 80. It says 135, but it actually sold for 80. So
that's
really
so
cool.
That's great.
Yeah, and if you have the label, I can show the label.
Yeah, I meant to add it to the slide.
That's okay. So
I can try and pull it up.
Yeah, so Todd Oldham is so the buyer just messaged me a little bit ago and said, "Hey, I am so psyched to get this. So excited to find this jacket, and I have an event Tuesday night that I want to wear it for. Can you please ship today?" So I have to, as after the show, go and get this shipped. Because
that's awesome. I love though when.
So it's somebody that's super excited, that follows the designer, that knew what they were getting. So yeah, so Todd Oldham, there's the little crown, that's his logo, and yeah, super 90s. If you find anything by Todd Oldham, definitely pick it up. He also did like some funky shoes. So yeah, kind of like along the line of like the John Fluvog shoe kind of style. Like he did some funky stuff like that.
That's one of my holy grails I've never found in the wild.
The Fluvogs, I have a pair of it. So I have a pair in my stash. Keep going to list them, but they fit me perfectly. And I keep going. I'm like, I have to list it. And then I'll put them back to the side. So they're still sitting in my pile because they fit me. So I don't know.
You have to wear them once, get it out of your system.
Maybe. They're so cute. So this sold, I paid $5 for the set, St. John Santana knit 2-piece. It's just like a basic brown kind of, you know, Santana knit. And I sold this I paid $5, sold for $64 on Posh. And the same buyer also bought this Stizzoli from Italy. It's a 3-piece set. It had like a kind of striped shell top underneath, nice silver buttons on the jacket, skirt, and it did have a couple flaws on it, which I disclosed. A couple, like I think on the top of the skirt or something, there were like a couple little spots, but I disclosed it. It was in almost perfect condition though. So I paid $5 for the set at the same consignment sale, and I sold it for $100 to the same buyer that bought the St. John. Now Stizzoli, you might not have heard of the brand, but it's along the same lines as St. John. It's kind of like that Santana knit feel. It's a very, very heavy knit, kind of the same style. So there's a tag, Stizzoli collection, and you can see made in Italy. And it was, what was the size on that? I forget, but it was a larger size. So yeah, so the same buyer bought both of those. So, and it was 100% wool. So,
and it was not a bundle, right?
No, so I don't know. I messaged Posh. So what happens usually when buyers buy multiple items, they bundle it so that they can ship it all, pay one shipping fee, but she bought them separately. So I messaged Posh. The only problem is I got a response that they will answer me within 48 hours, and I really want to ship it today. So I'm kind of on the fence of what to do. I guess I just ship it in 2 separate packages. I can't just ship it in one because then the other one won't show it over.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
I think one of the downsides to Posh is that their customers, as much as everyone likes to hate on eBay customer service, their customer
Oh my
service
gosh, I had a
is so
problem.
much
I had an
better
issue
than
last
Posh.
week with eBay, and my customer service rep was amazing. And then she gave me her personal email address. I had another issue. I emailed her. She called me back. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And I also have eBay concierge, which because I went to eBay Open after that, you get, so it's kind of like the Rockstar customer service that you get. You get no wait times. You get better, more personal catered service. So I feel like a rock star when I call eBay customer service. But Posh, there's no one to call. You have to email them, and then they send you like a generated email saying that they'll get back to you within.
They get back to you within 48 hours when they expect you to ship within a day. Like,
yeah, so I don't know what to do. I really think that I need to ship these items.
I think
So I guess I'll just ship them separately. And
yeah. I mean, it's too bad for the buyer, but if she paid that much for each item and then obviously was going to pay shipping for both of them, so
and it won't work out on my end if I just print one label and ship all in one box because the other item will never show as sent. So
yeah.
So hopefully she's understanding, and she might just not know about the bundles.
I almost wonder if she didn't realize that it was the same seller. Like, I wonder if she was searching by brand.
Well, no, because it's kind of the same kind of style,
Yeah.
Yeah. So my other item that is kind of like a bonus item is this. I just wanted to show this because I sold it within the last week. Paid $5. It's Alfred Shaheen. I sold it for $149.99, and it had like those kimono sleeves. It was absolutely gorgeous, kind of gold filigree, I think it's called. Like is that what on the one.
On the trim or the
trim.
So the trim is technically, at least in architectural terms, is called a meander.
Oh, interesting. So it's very Art Deco. I put that in. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So anyway, it had the reason I wanted to show this not only is Alfred Shaheen, obviously a bolo. There's a couple things. I let this sit. I knew I was pricing it high, and I knew that I had a lot of watchers, no takers, but I definitely, I definitely would have sold it if I put it up for like 50. It would have sold instantly, but I waited on it, and it did sell for my full asking price. And the other thing was it had some stains and discoloration, which I very thoroughly disclosed. I took pictures towards the bottom. There were some spots, and it still sold for this. So if you have a good solid vintage piece, even if it has some flaws, definitely, still pick it up because people are definitely looking for it, and they don't necessarily care if it's got a few stains or some discoloration.
There's a lot of vintage collectors who see that as part of the charm of the piece. Like, it's not going to turn them off at all.
Yeah, so
Elizabeth says that had some glitches with Poshmark Tuesday night. I think they were down for a while on Tuesday.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so it may also be, sort of ongoing. That is
so.
Okay, my sales are nowhere near as good. So
you sold them.
Yes. So I thought these were so cool. I remember you encouraged me to get them.
Yes, I did. I thought they would sell faster, but
I thought they would too. The weird thing is when I started looking up comps, for some reason, this exact style, there were like 20 pairs of them on eBay. It was so weird.
Huh.
So, and they did not have like a ton of value. I think maybe because there were so many, like they were selling for like $20. Anyway, so I had them listed for ages. I did like a what's it called? Offer to likers, I think, on Poshmark, and someone took my offer.
Okay.
It's still a profit. It's not huge. I'm okay with it. And this one I was telling you about. So this was a really fun find because I got it in New York. It may have been $9.99. I forget exactly how much I paid for it. It was a while ago. But this dress actually had the tags on it from a very high-end vintage store in New York City. I think I may have talked about it on an earlier episode. And the tags on it, it said that the item had been sold for like $150, $120 at the vintage store. I'm not sure if it was like the unsold inventory that got donated, or if it was someone had bought it, never worn it, and donated it with the tags. But either way, it was fun to find because I knew it was basically kind of new, vintage, new with tags. It had been professionally cleaned. It just seemed like it had already been looked over for flaws. It was in really good condition. But I listed it, and it just kind of sat and sat. So I ended up I took an offer of 26 or 28, I think. So it was not the full $30, but it wasn't bad. And then the buyer also paid shipping. And it also went in a padded flat rate, and the buyer paid a couple dollars more than they needed to. So I might actually refund them because it was kind of absurd. I don't know why eBay did that. Anyway, it's going to a vintage store in Mississippi.
So cool. Yeah. So they're gonna. So it's gonna resell it, but
I bought it from a vintage store. I resold it on eBay, and I'm selling it to a vintage store.
And it's going back into the circle of that's pretty cool.
That is absolutely what they call it, the circular economy.
Yes.
Hi, Tim.
Tim's there. Hi, Tim.
Thanks for making it. Anyway, so 2 items that I'm not super excited about. I mean, the sales aren't that high. They were kind of stale, and I'm glad to see them going to good homes, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, but I think they were. That was the dress is that's an awesome dress. So
yeah,
yes,
the vintage is hard. It's hard to price. I don't think that the Bill Blass stuff. I thought that the 80s 90s Bill Blass would do better. Generally, the comps aren't that great. I don't think I would have picked it up if I hadn't been lured in by the price tag on it. Yeah. And thinking, oh, someone else sold it for this, but actually I'm pretty sure what happened is someone else didn't sell it for that, and it ended up going to. Yeah. Well, but that's fine. Okay. I think that's it for this week. I know you have a special announcement, Nay.
Yeah, so I am doing this. I'm doing an auction on eBay for the Wounded Warrior project. I found a blanket that I actually found it at the bins, but it was like brand new, and it's a polyester fleece. It's just a fleece blanket. It's super soft, and it's Wounded Warrior. So I couldn't just sell it. I needed, when I find something like this, breast cancer or some, like the Wounded Warrior, I will put it up for an auction, a charity auction. So I am donating 75% of the proceeds of this auction. I do not have any bids on it yet, so somebody please bid. I am donating 75% of the proceeds. Now, I did that because I do have free shipping on it, and the cost of the item, the fee, the PayPal fees, and everything. So in the end, I'm not making any profit on it. So 75% of the proceeds to Wounded Warrior project through eBay Giving Works. So please bid on this, so that I want to get it bid up so that I can have a nice donation to Wounded Warrior project.
Very cool. And as usual, we like to ask you all a question. And this week, we would love to know, what kind of profit margin do you aim for when sourcing? So I thought it was really interesting that most of our items, you could kind of tell what we were aiming for when we did the comps, because it was all very much, mostly in the $20, $30 range. And I think it's interesting to hear what other people are looking for. What makes you say yes to an item versus passing on it? Do you want to make a certain amount per item? Do you want to make a certain profit margin? So let us know in the comments, and we would love to hear from you. And as usual, you can find us all over the internet. We're on Poshmark, Depop, and eBay. You can email us at naylothrifts@gmail.com if you have any ideas, feedback, requests, anything at all. Yeah. And we're also on Instagram.
Yeah, and you can find my auction there under my eBay store. It's, my eBay ID is there, so definitely, search for that and bid if you can.
Yeah. Great. And we will be back
next week with our thread up.
Yeah.
Let's see. So so we'll be doing our thread again. We'll be doing our thread up unboxing, and my box will hopefully get there by then. It should. And Lola has a different box. And then we have a couple bonus.
I think we both have a few items that we sourced online. So we will be talking about those, as well as unboxing a couple things that we have never seen before. So it'll be a fun surprise for all of us.
Okay, so everybody have a great week. Definitely message us, comment on our YouTube, subscribe, thumbs up.
share the fun. We'll
Yeah,
see you next week.
Thank you.
Everyone. Bye.